All right. Hey, everybody. Wanted to jump in and give you a quick update on my cryptocurrency trades and give you a little bit of guidance since my last update a few days ago. As from that video, I was way far away. I was actually in the Maldives at this little island here in Fushafaru and made the long journey back. So from Fushafaru to Male by a seaplane. And then we took the flights from Male to Doha, long layover there, and then this big jaunt back to Dallas. So finally, not quite jet lagged, and definitely want to get caught up on the trades and the positions. One of the great things about trading this style, since I'm trading off the daily charts when I'm gone like that for an extended time, it's really quite simple to keep on top of these trades. Obviously, just once per day, I have to take a peek and see if anything has changed. And honestly, most days, these days, nothing too much has changed. My holdings overall right now, that I'm the what I call the hodling, the holding on for dear life, is up a little bit over the last week. Last 24 hours, probably I think down a little bit, not much actually. And I've just got, like I mentioned in the last video, cash on the sidelines that I'm looking to jump back in because my split right now, like I mentioned, is 40% I actively trade, which is all at this point in cash waiting for setups. And the markets that I like to reestablish and add more to would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana. In addition, there's a couple other markets that I'll be looking to get into. So I wanted to give you an update. Some of my entry prices have changed, so I want to go ahead and put those out to you. If you remember from the last, I'm basically looking for oversold indications on just pure price action. And then I'm looking for price confirmation before I get in. I never am somebody who can buy at the bottom, just not going to be able to time it perfectly because I don't really have any idea where the bottom is. But I have found that this approach, this method has made sure that even when I get in and I'm wrong, my drawdowns or my losses they're modest compared to buy and hold. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a moment. But just to update you a bit on Bitcoin, at this point, I've updated my entry price to 41,515. Obviously, right now we're 38,000, 37,000 have come up for a few days, and over the weekend here we have retraced just a little bit. So it's hard to say at this point what's the next move. There's a lot of different theories, and I'm sure other videos here on YouTube that do an amazing job breaking down all the technicals. I'm looking for my price confirmation, and that's going to happen here at 41,515. This will not change, by the way, until I get a close back below my Keltner channels here. So I'm sticking with this price until that happens. If we get closes back down below here, then I'll reassess and I'll look to bring that entry price even lower, which I've done all along the way in this decline. I've not gotten in since we exited up here. I've been close a couple times here, but have not had a price confirmation. Now, what I wanted to share with you is why this works for me. So I picked the absolute, I think, one of the worst times possible, beginning of 2018, right when Bitcoin was hit that $20,000 high, and then started the crypto winter, and it went all the way down into the 3,000s. So in this case, an 80-90% drop. Now, my trades were not perfect during that time, as you can see. I had losses. It's difficult when you're buying only, when your main asset is dropping 80 to 90%, to be positive. And the reality is I'm probably not going to be able to trade with positive returns when that happens. Now, I can do quite well when a market is in a range. I can do really well when it's going up, but certainly in a range. But what I like to look for is even when I lose with this type of approach, the losses aren't too bad. Okay. And obviously, I can definitely do great when the markets take off and compound. So if I started, for instance, with $1,000 back at the worst possible time, which is when it peaked at 20,000 and dropped all the way down to 3,000, and then of course did rally back, I would have about $18,000. That's an 18x return over the, what is it, 2018, 19, 20, not quite, yeah, about 4 years. Now, a buy and hold person who's at 20,000 at the start of this, at this point is not at 61,000, is at 37, 38,000, is basically not even a 2x, which is hard to believe in a way, considering how far some of these assets have gone at times. But even at its peak, when we were in the 60s, that person who was at 20,000 here, it was a 3x. See, look what happened for me from 1,000 to $18,000. That's an 18x. That's why I like this approach. Ethereum was actually even better. With $1,000, we got up to about a 23x, at a high, a 27x. So $1,000 to 27. Now, my last trade, as I mentioned, I did take a loss on it at this point in Ethereum as well. But this is why this works for me. It is not perfect. Certainly when I'm going to do one of these videos and give you an update, I'm going to enter and it's going to end up losing. It's just the way it is. I look at it like I'm coming up to the plate and I'm taking several swings, and I might have a pop fly, a pop out, a ground ball. They throw me out. A couple of them don't work. but eventually I'm going to catch the move. I'm absolutely never going to miss the big recovery moves with this, and I'm also not going to have the large drawdowns. So that's the theory behind it. If you take a look at Ethereum, and I'm using, by the way, Coinbase for my exchange. That's where I trade on Coinbase Pro. So prices are a little bit different depending upon where you trade. I also brought down the buy entry on Ethereum. I'm down to 3,017, but yeah, we're at this point trading at 2,600. It's doable. You can have a huge candle, and we can get there in a day or two. It doesn't look like it at this point, but that's where I'm looking to get in on Ethereum. So just keep that in mind at 3,017. Same theory. Not going to change that unless I get a close back below my channels here. Two other markets, of course, that I'm looking to establish some long trades would be Solana. And I brought my buy entry down to 131.55. It's got a ways to go in this case. That's a long ways away, but that's just because this is a fairly extreme drop. But again, we were able to get out up here, and we're just for the buy opportunity. The other one that I would like to get into, of course, would be Chainlink, and I'm going to go ahead and show you where my buy is on that. Also, quite a ways up, 23.05. Peak performance, we were up at 40, so that would still be a good entry price. I have a feeling this is probably going to come down. We'll see if we get another close below my channel here. And so maybe the next few days I'll need to update all of you if that price has come down on where I'm looking to enter on that one. On Solana, on Chainlink, I'm a little pickier on my entry, meaning I need a little bit more confirmation above my midline here before I get in. On Bitcoin and Ethereum, because they're more technically based, the way that they trade, I get a little bit quicker. I'm going to give up some profits here if this turns out to get long and really takes off, but it's just for me, I asked for a little confirmation. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, I would like to ask all of you if there are some other markets that you would like me to look at. I'd be happy to share those in future videos and show you what I would do, where I would get in. Again, these are not meant to be trades where I'm looking to buy and hold on for the long term. If you're looking to do that, then honestly, the place to get in is now and continue to dollar cost average. And I do that all the time on the positions that I'm holding when I'm not looking to trade. This video is strictly about active trading, meaning I expect to get in on these daily charts, ideally stay in for several weeks or a few months, but I realize I may sometimes have to get out in a few days. At the same time, I'm not going to have dozens of trades in a year. I'm probably looking at 4 to 5, 4 to 6 trades over the course of the year, in particular, especially if I can catch a really nice long, like we did, obviously, way back in the good old days on some of these markets. But like I mentioned, I'm more than happy to take a look at some other ones. This is going to work best in the larger currency pairs. They're going to trade a bit more technical. If you have something, if you go way down the list that is just trading on news, something that happens that can, spike up or down and go parabolic, this type of trading isn't going to work that great. So we're really looking at the top currency, the top digital tokens here. So other ones that I like to trade, Terra Luna for sure, Polkadot definitely, Polygon Matic. These are ones that I have positions in and I would look to enter. So if you have some curiosity, if you want to comment down below, but probably best if we stick to the top 25 or 30. We get down below that, I'm not so sure they're going to really trade technically at all, and so this is not going to be as reliable. But certainly something like AVAX here, this definitely trades technically and can be one that we can look at as well. So again, any other questions that you have, just comment down below. Be happy to take a look for you and show you what I would do. And any other questions that you have, same thing. And I'll be back in a few days. If we get some changes, then I'll let you know where my new buy points are, and hopefully we'll get some trades to enter, and then I can start to share with you how I manage those trades once we're in. All right, so with that, everybody, good luck, good success.